Hi everybody, it's Amy Co from Snark and I am here with another tutorial for you today to show you how to build my fancy kitchen hutch. I think this little file is going to be such a killer for you guys. This file is going to be so versatile. You'll be able to use it for every season. It's fast and fun, just like everything else Snark. This assembly is a little different though than usual, so let's get into it. So instead of doing all of my normal stacking, this is set up with actual shelves. However, I didn't do notches and things that fit together because honestly, who has time to figure out perf and all of that stuff? So I don't, and I don't want to futz around with it, so I don't. So I'm going to lead you through how all of this is put together. So to identify which pieces are which, there's a key on the file, and they all have little dots that are engraved. So you didn't have to write on here. There's a lot of rectangles, and they're gonna look very similar. So the key is on all of these. Like these ones are shelf, shelf, and the top, even though they're all the same size. This one, I don't have my dots on because I forgot to engrave, but these are going to be the backer pieces that hold our shelves together. This is the countertop in the middle, and these are the sides. So, and there is a key right on the file, so it's easy to see what goes to what. So, starting off, I'm going to use a few supplies. These are my little clamps from Dollar Tree. As you can see, have a whole bucket of them. I love them. They're handy as all get out. So if you don't have any, that's okay. You can also use binder clips. Those work just fine. You do want to have something to hold your pieces together when you're gluing. So the basis of holding our shelves on is this background. And when it's all together, you're not even going to really be able to tell that there's a difference in the depth between things. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment here. So as usual, famous, beloved tacky glue. Just going to give this some goober in here. Now, when I put these little middle pieces on, I want to make sure that they're lined up within the score lines pretty close because these are going to be what holds your shelves on. This is made with 3mm material, which makes it an amazing choice for people with diode machines as well as a regular laser. So as you can see, I'm just making sure that this is lined up. I'm going to take my little clampy and just clamp. Simple, easy peasy, making sure that it didn't move when I clamped it. Hold it tight with my thumb and clamp it down. So another little placeholder, making sure it is lined up. Oh, looks like I got that kind of out of alignment. That's one of the beauties of working with a white glue is if you need to move things around a little bit, you have some more open time, whereas using CA glue, you don't often have that kind of mobility. And I really like, I mean, as you can see, it was off just a little bit. And it's not the end of the world, but when you can have a nice tight fit, it's a really beautiful thing. So that looks like that's lined up nice and neat there. And then the last one, a little schmutz there, no biggie. Now, normally I would have the spray painted beforehand, or painted, whatever the case may be. I didn't this time. It's not the end of the world. But you do, you can maybe get a little cleaner look if you paint it before you assemble it. Okay. So just going to do a little inspection, make sure that those are lined up over my score lines. Looks great. Okay, so next up, we're going to take our our 2 dots, and these are going to be our shelves, which fit right in between these. It's a little bit tight, so if you need to kind of weasel it just a tiny bit, you can. This one is good. This one might be off just a smidge, so we'll just move it a tiny bit. Again, nice part of using white glue. Make sure I do a little dry fitting before I start gluing my little heart out here. Okay. Sometimes there's differences in your thickness of wood, and that's why you test all of this before you go real bonkers with your glue. Actually, I know what the problem is. This one needs to go down just a smidge. Come on, you. There we go. That's nice. And then this one now has a little more room. And this is nice as well. So see, as you can see, having that white glue on my side was really the ticket to happiness here. So again, sometimes your material is off just a tiny bit, so be willing and, you know, to move things around and think differently. So I've got those wedges right in there, and I'm just going to take and dab some glue on the edges. And slide this into place, making sure it lines up nice and neat with the edges of the little holders. So again, glue. Ta-da. And let's see. Doesn't really matter, but I like to put the side that's got charring on it facing down, just because I can. So there. All right, so that is just going to cure for a moment. While I let that cure, I'm going to take the two pieces that are the countertop and glue them together. This would be where the wider ledge is. And unfortunately, I don't have a finished one with me to show you at the moment because I gave it to my neighbor, but you've probably seen it online by now. It's not a big deal. So go ahead and let these guys get together, smush them a little bit. And to make sure that they dry nice and flat, I'll use my handy dandy clamps again. Oh, here's another one over here. So, all right, so now we've kind of got this glue gluing a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and release this. I'm gonna release all of them actually. This might be a little too soon, but it's no big deal. You guys can do it better than me because you're smart, capable adults. Okay, so I'm gonna use the sides, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little dots. This one I would go ahead and put the dots on the inside so nobody sees it. So again, just gonna take and add the glue to the edges. This is one of the few times I'm pretty generous with my glue, simply because I want it to really hold nicely. Okay, and don't worry, you can just wipe that off with your finger if you've got it kind of barfing all over the place a little bit there. Oh, shoot, that's right, I forgot. I wanted to put a little bit of glue on the edges of these shelves as well, just to give it some reinforcement. Now, we all know that these aren't really going to hold any substantial weight, but having a little extra glue certainly can't hurt. Make sure it's lined up at the top there. All right, now we're cooking with gas now, you guys. Turn this gal around. If you do have a choice at all between finding wood that's, you know, nice and flat, whoops, didn't want to glue that side. If you can find stuff that's really nice and flat, it really helps. My stuff is a little warped because I live in humid Oregon, so c'est la vie. Sometimes you just gotta kind of work with the situation life gives you, man. Okay, so I'm getting my sides on yet again. Line it up at the top here. And then just for a moment, just gonna kind of hold it here so everything gets nice and adhered. Making sure these are up at the top. And just hold on to it and adhere it just a bit. Now the number 3 dots is the top. I'm going to take and put a little glue on the inside here where that shelf is going to be, and here, and then along here. And look at this, it is starting to actually look like a shelving unit. And this is pretty quick. We're 9 minutes in, and honestly, you know, if I was not talking to you guys, it would go even faster. So, you know, once you kind of get a groove going with this, it goes pretty dang quick. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna clip my little shelf, my little middle shelf, and give him a glue just on the bottom. And there is a little space here because this is where our sides of the footing are going to be. So they will go on right here. So we'll just go ahead and give that a little bit of glue in too. Oops. Yeah, this is one of those times when actually like having some things pre-done to show you guys would have been nice, but here we are. This is what tells you this is really real. This is really all Amy all the time. So Amy's kind of a mess. So I'm going to go up this side here and then down this. Oh, and a little on the top here too. Okay. Going to repeat the process on the other side. Going like so. And a little bit here. And a little bit there. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here where it's really going to start being a finished piece in a moment here. This is where the dream really starts to come to life. So I will take, and this little front here will get glued on just like so. It's going to go ahead and put that on the main piece. It's kind of hides your cut edges, excuse me, words are hard. It is New Year's Eve and I haven't even started drinking yet, so there's that. Okay. Make sure it's all lined up nice and pretty. Looking pretty dang cute. Now with this file, there are a couple of options for the top front. You can just do a plain one if you want a little more farmhouse look. It does come with this little frame that you can glue right on here. And I've also included on another side of the file, this one with the little scallops like the rest of the piece. So it's got the scallops on the bottom of the shelf, the scallops down here, and then the scallops on the side, which you can't see because my glue is still curing. And then finally, I would just take and glue my little bottom on so all my little feet stay where they belong. It does stick out a tiny bit more in the front. I just wanted to have a little extra lip there. But there it is. That is the fancy hutch in under 15 minutes. So thanks so much for hanging with me. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And also the marketing photos for this piece will be in Snark Club. So if you want to get into Snark Club, that membership, the doors are open at half price forever until the end of January. So if you want to get in, now is the time where you can get in at $20 a month for the rest of forever. And at the end of January, that price doubles. So thanks so much for coming today. I hope you have a wonderful new year. Stay safe and love your neighbors, guys.